got everybody out? There's 2 people inside? You guys need help?
My subject here is saying that someone shot the landlord in the house that he was in with him.
Lafayette, please, 911.
Whoa! Fire! 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 Fire!
What?
Fire!
An early morning 911 call in Lafayette, Indiana, led police to one of the most chaotic and dangerous crime scenes of their entire career. Not just a massive, quickly spreading fire, but a stabbed victim bleeding out on the road and another trapped in the burning house with emergency responders as his only hope.
Please! Come out! Come to my voice!
As responders fought to save lives, one chilling question loomed: who among their suspects had unleashed this chaos, and what darker secrets were still waiting to be discovered?
You wouldn't have hurt him in any way with any type of weapon or anything like that? Okay. Is there a possibility that you were at his house yesterday?
No.
Okay.
No.
So if somebody thought that they saw you there, that would be wrong.
Little did they know, catching him before it was too late would be far more complicated than they ever imagined. Hi there and welcome. You're watching a brand new and exciting video from Red and Blue YouTube channel. It was the early morning hours of April 7, 2019, when Lafayette Dispatch received an earth-shattering call. It was the kind of 911 call that felt like a horrible nightmare playing out, getting worse and worse by the second.
Lafayette, please, 911.
Yes, ma'am. Shot fired.
Okay, what's the problem?
Shot fired. Shot fired.
Shots fired.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Did somebody hit? Are you hurt, sir?
Yes. No, I'm ready to stab me.
You're stabbed.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what's your name?
Thomas Day.
Where's the person that stabbed you?
Whoa! Fire! 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 Fire!
What?
Ambulances, fire trucks, and law enforcement raced to the scene. From a distance, they could see the smoke already rising into the sky and the flames licking the clouds. They were racing to the home of a man that many people in the local community knew and loved, 61-year-old Ron Wilds. He was known for taking in people down on their luck or struggling with addiction, renting them a reasonable place to live, and getting them a job to help them get back on their feet. He didn't do this for the money. Heck, it brought more trouble than financial gain. But he wanted nothing more than to see his community thrive. Unfortunately, some people took advantage of that, and tragically, it led to the scene that law enforcement arrived at just after 6 a.m.
Over here, have a seat. Have a seat. Get medics here. I have the subject out front as well that's been stabbed. He's bleeding. Right. Hit it. Hit it again. All right. Stand back. One minute back. Go get. Where's he at? I don't know. Does one of you guys have a gas mask in your car? I do not. Who is that? That is the guy that I think is stabbed. Yeah, we're hitting it right now. Do we have the guy that's inside? Do we know anything on the phone? I don't know who they were talking to. Is there a way around that? Okay, please, get him on inside. Okay, we need to probably get him moved, if we can.
As officers prepare to move the 911 caller, whose name is Thomas Day, they're faced with a problem. His body is completely raw with stab wounds, and he's covered in soot from the fire. What law enforcement doesn't realize just now is how many stab wounds he has, but it's very hard to figure that out in the chaotic scene. They have no idea how many people are inside the burning house, and Thomas is too dazed to tell them. And on top of that, the fire is now spreading to nearby homes. A detective rushes to evacuate them, hoping to at least mitigate some casualties.
We got everybody out? There's 2 people inside?
Yes.
Hey, I need you out of the house. There's a fire next door. You need to get out right now, please.
Okay.
Are you the only one home?
No.
How many are in here?
I got one in the bedroom and I got 3.
Let's get them out quick, please.
Okay.
Oh, fuck. Ah, shit. I know it hurts, buddy, but we gotta get you away. Hang on. Let's just go down here. Hang on. I know it hurts, man, but we gotta get you moved. Okay, this is good. Right here. Where's he bleeding from? He's got a big, right here. He's rolled on it. Keep him contained.
Thomas Day being able to make any noise at all is shocking when you consider what condition he's in at this moment. In the footage that you've just seen, he had 29 stab wounds all over his body. As the ambulance rushes him to the hospital, hoping for answers, other officers have to handle another rapidly spreading problem. The fire that's consuming the house that Ron Wilds is in, and also spreading to the neighbors.
It's Lafayette Police! They're getting dressed. Okay, I just need you guys out as soon as you can, please. It was just you two in here, right? Okay, alright, thank you very much. If y'all could just move past that fence.
Our door.
I'll get it for you. Just do me a favor, go move past the fire trucks for right now, please. Hey, shut their doorway. Holy shit. Whew.
Unsure if Ron is still inside the house, police do what they can to break inside. But what awaits them is much more dangerous than they realize.
Lafayette, please! There's no way. I hear something in there. Hey! I can hear me.
That roof is completely. Lafayette Police.
Please! Now! Come to my voice! Hey, come to my voice!
Get down on the ground and come towards our boys. Stay low.
Let fire do their job. Can't do anymore.
Faced with the flames and smoke with no gas masks, the police have no choice but to turn back and wait for the fire department to go in.
Yeah, because we got things popping. Just water. Just water. Well, that's something we need to worry about at a different time.
At the time, police have no idea just how vital this clue is, but soon they'll find out. First, however, they do have something else to worry about. Questioning Thomas Day before it's too late. The officer rushes to the hospital. With the shape that Thomas is in, they aren't entirely sure if he's going to make it. Hoping to get any information they can, they head into the ER where he's being cared for. But will they be able to get anything in time?
You woke up what? Somebody shot your landlord.
Lafayette 14.
Response.
My subject here is saying that someone shot the landlord in the house that he was in with him.
Finally, police have gotten at least a little information about what happened. Despite the searing pain that Thomas is in from his wounds, he was woken up by the sound of a gunshot and then walked in to find a mysterious man attacking his landlord, Ron. When he tried to fight off the attacker, he himself was stabbed. After retreating to his bedroom, he called 911, unaware of just how severe his injuries were. But as doctors and nurses operate on him, it's clear he's lucky to be alive. The realization that a gun was involved in the crime changes it entirely. Now they have another weapon to keep in mind. And with the news that the cars outside the home were broken into, they have a sneaking suspicion where one of the weapons may have come from.
So you guys grab the small sector, just out here.
My title.
Title?
Yeah, I just bought it. The title was an open title in the glove box.
So what time did you come out here and notice that you're
Just now.
Just now. So he said he sold out. How do you know?
Because he's the one that posted my watch for sale.
I'm talking about you saw him out here for his.
No, that's what I was saying. I think he could have caught the place next door on fire, too. That's what I was saying. If the fire marshal says that was arson, I bet it was him because he probably came over and busted my windows back out.
Do you have any reason to believe that he did that?
Yeah, I know.
Did you see him here or anything?
I didn't see him.
You didn't see him? You have no other reason to believe he was here?
That's the only person that I have an issue with. You know what I mean? They would attack my stuff.
Okay. Why would he do that over there?
That? Because
What's that?
he used to work for the guy.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't. If that's what it was, that'd be who I would say. But I know for a fact because he just stole my grandpa's watch out here at the beginning of this week.
Okay.
And he had it posted on Facebook for sale. Well, my fiance messaged his fiance, I got my watch back. Well, now you guys come and said the house next door is on fire. My truck window's busted out.
Okay.
My van keys, I usually keep them right here in my door. Well, I'm looking for my van keys. I'm like, oh shit, my window's busted out. My title's gone. Where's the van keys? My van's all ransacked too. He got in the van too, and I don't know where the keys for that is. Okay. My main issue with this, though, I'm going to have a report because the title, it's not in my name yet, and the title is in the glove box.
Do you have any purchase agreement or any
I don't know if he stole the bill of sale to it now.
Now, when you say it's Chris Smith,
Christopher Smith. The Christopher Smith that's always in trouble with the law.
do you know how old he is?
Early 30s, maybe, I have to say.
And he had issues with you?
Yeah, I literally just I didn't catch him red-handed, but he had my stolen property posted on Facebook, and his fiance, I had my fiance message him, acting like we were going to buy it. His fiance met us right up here at Champs. I explained the situation to her. There was no issue. She didn't know, you know what I mean? She gave me the watch back. There was no problem. So I imagine after a couple of days, they got into it over it or something, and then he's obviously come back. So, because the day before I noticed my watch was gone, I was sitting in my truck out front here, right where my mom's truck's parked, and it was probably about 4 a.m. I was getting ready to head to work, and I look up, and with my windows tinted, and you can't really see out real well, and I seen somebody by my truck, so I rolled the window down, and it was Chris. And then the next day, I noticed that night my change was gone because my whole ashtray was missing. The whole ashtray was pulled out. And I didn't even realize at that time because I had this hanging on the column. I didn't even realize until afterwards that the watch was missing. But come to find out, he had posted the watch for sale before that had even happened. Okay. So he had been in my truck more than once. You know what I mean? Because he posted. I guess they got another firearm missing out of the gray truck too.
Have what?
Another firearm missing.
A gun?
Yeah. She had one in her truck too. I guess he did bust the window out in her truck and got in her truck. I think he's over there taking her statement now.
Why we shouldn't be leaving guns in cars?
Law enforcement have their first lead, Chris Smith, with a witness claiming that he was at the scene of the crime, and with a gun having been stolen from the car, the police race to speak with him. What he has to tell them, however, is not at all what they expect.
You alright? Said you got a hernia? Is that right?
Yes.
Do you work anywhere?
Yeah, I work for myself, and I work for Ron.
Ron? Who's Ron?
Ron Wiles, the owner of that building.
What building?
On 2700 South Street.
Oh, okay. So, I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with that. So, 2700 South Street is where his business is out of?
He's a landlord / subcontractor.
Okay. So, I guess, so he's your landlord, basically, at 2700. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You do work for him?
Yeah.
What kind of work?
Cleanup, demolition, tree trimming.
Okay. Kind of like random odd jobs here and there? Okay. What's your normal hours? Do you have normal hours?
No,
Okay.
it's not normal hours.
How long have you been working for him?
Like off and on for 10 years.
Okay. When you mean off and on, what are you talking about?
I mean, I've worked for him for a year here, then not for 2 or 3 years, and then 3 years here. This last time I worked for him for 2 years.
Okay, so you're still working for him right now?
Yeah.
When's the last time you did a job for him?
See, what did I do last for him? Oh, I fixed a truck brake line for him, about 3 months ago?
Okay.
I was doing my own tree trim and stuff lately.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And was that one of his trucks or just a truck he brought you?
It's one of his trucks.
Like he owns it?
Yeah.
Okay. And did he pay you?
Yeah.
How much did he pay you?
$10 an hour.
Okay. How much do you think he made?
$60.
Okay. Do you have a good relationship with him?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Ron?
We talked to him yesterday on the phone. He's just come on and get rent today.
Okay. You talked to him yesterday. What's your phone number?
765.
Okay. What do you pay him in rent?
It's $150 a week.
And did you have the money to pay him today?
Not all of it, but we got it worked out. I had a tree job coming up here in the next week or so for an older couple down the road.
Mm-hmm. Were you guys arguing about it at all?
No.
Sometimes it can be a red flag when suspects mention the victim without being prompted about them. This can mean that they're on their mind and consumed by anxiety, already aware that that is where the conversation is heading. And with Chris and Ron's history, they have every reason to be suspicious.
And that, would you say your relationship is pretty good with Ron?
He's crazier than hell, but, I mean, yeah.
When you say crazier than hell, what do you mean?
He's very, he has an explosive temper.
He does?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So would you guys get into arguments and stuff?
Oh, yeah. He yells at everybody, and he belittles people and stuff.
Okay. Oh, is there a possibility that you were at his house yesterday?
No.
Okay.
No.
So if somebody thought that they saw you there, that would be wrong?
Yeah. No, I was not at his house yesterday.
Okay.
I didn't leave South Street yesterday, but to go to a gas station. And
who would have known that? Amber?
Amanda, Bob,
who's Bob?
Karen. Bob's man lives upstairs. Karen. Is he okay?
What about early this morning?
No.
Like, let's say between 4 a.m. and 7 a.m. Where were you?
At my house. Actually, I was working on a Costco chair, too. But my little brother, Kevin Parks, he stopped by my house to borrow a chainsaw and some bar oil.
So there's not a possibility that you were down on South 31st Street bringing into cars last night?
No.
Early this morning?
No. Ma'am, I was wanted. I don't even like to be outside.
Okay. So you knew you had a warrant?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair. I just didn't, like I said, my job is to, when I get information, I like to go to the source when someone tells me that so-and-so did this.
This right here is why you came so fucking hard for me. No, I didn't break into no car.
It's not just breaking into cars. It's tied in with some other things. So, when's the last time that you and Ron got into an argument that maybe somebody else saw?
It's been a few months.
A few months?
Yeah.
Okay. So, why would somebody tell me that you got fired and that you were upset with Ron because he fired you?
If Ron fired me, he would have kicked me out of the apartment. So whoever said that's full of shit, because that's how Ron does it. Ask anybody that knows him. If you're his worker and you live in one of his places, if you get fired, he kicks you.
So, just to be clear, because like I said, I got a bunch of information, and part of the reason that you're here is, one, somebody said that you got into an argument with Ron because you got fired and you were upset with him. Two, that there was some cars broken in right by Ron's house last night, and somebody thought that maybe you had something to do with it because you were upset about getting fired.
Have you guys even tried to talk to Ron about this?
Okay, so
If this is so far-fetched.
Here's the third thing about this, okay? There was a fire at Ron's house.
And it's brand new one on 31st, 809.
The 818, I think.
Oh my God, is he okay?
Well, I don't have that information just now. I'm working this other part. So I'm asking you, I guess now, if you're claiming that you didn't do any of those other things, do you know who would have wanted to set fire to Ron's house?
No. He owns 3 right on that block. Okay, he owns the little shack, the brown house, and the blue house. Which one caught fire? No, he's my friend. I've known him since I was 15. He okay?
Okay.
What the fuck? Is he alright?
Well, I don't have that information right now because like I said, I've seen the house, but I haven't been in it or I haven't been out there. So.
Did it burn, Pat?
I don't know.
There's no way. I mean, alright, well, that is crazy. Just somebody set the fucking house on fire.
But it wasn't you.
No. And then, I mean, sucks. He's insured.
So, okay. And this is just
He's crooked as shit, though.
This is just part of my job, so don't get offended when I ask you this question, but I want the truth.
Yeah.
You didn't set his house on fire.
I haven't been to his house or inside his house to set his house on fire in months.
Okay. And there wouldn't be any reason, if he is injured, there wouldn't be any reason that you caused the injury.
No, we never heard that, man.
Okay. And I'll hear real quick and talk to some people just to get some more information before we get you down for your warrant. Okay?
Okay, you're gonna talk to me?
Maybe. I got a couple more things to check on, okay? And then I'm gonna come in here. Unless you have something else.
No, is he okay? He is okay, right?
Sir, I don't know that right now. Let me go see if I can maybe find that answer out for you. All right.
Jesus. No, man.
When she returns minutes later with that answer, it isn't one that Nathan wants to hear. But is that because he's putting on an act, or is it because he actually isn't guilty?
So I just check in.
I just told him he's alright because Dave would have told me something I seen this morning if I wasn't okay.
Okay. Well, so I did talk to some of the other detectives that have been at the house.
Yeah.
And it's not looking good for Ron. Doesn't look like he made it.
What the fuck?
So that's part of this issue. That's why we're asking you guys these questions and talking to people, neighbors, and that kind of stuff.
And they know the fire was intentionally set?
Yeah, because there's some other things that go on that were involved, I guess, with the fire.
Man, no. But yeah, that was damn.
So with that being said, and again, this is just part of my job, but you didn't have anything to do with the fire. You wouldn't have hurt Ron.
I hurt him. He's dead.
You wouldn't have hurt him in any way with any type of weapon or anything like that.
Nothing like that.
Okay.
Oh God.
If you have any information that would help us, now would be the time to talk
You
about
got it. Alright, people have been mad at Ron in the last year. Let's see. People have been mad at Ron in the last year.
Well, maybe let's narrow that down to like the last couple months.
No, you can't do it like that because
Okay, then do it the way
he
you
rubbed
want to do
people
it.
the wrong way. Rick Ruhlander and him got into it. He kicked Andy Alcorn. Cody Bryant, he kicked off his property.
But were these recently?
Andy Alcorn was, recently, like less than,
What was their issue?
they were staying with people just flopping around up in, the people upstairs, Clement, Robin, Howard, and, Travis Clemens. He was staying up there with them, but he wasn't supposed to be. He was just squatting. You know, he was staying wherever he could. And, Ron kicked him off the property. I don't think he ever called the actual law over it. But no, man, Ron.
Well, do me this favor, okay?
He was a good dude.
When you get down to the jail or when you get out, if you hear anything about what happened or if somebody knows somebody that did this.
He's dead, or she said that. He's dead.
Ron was discovered deceased on the scene by firefighters. The fire wasn't lit in an attempt to kill him. Rather, it was lit to conceal his body. He had been shot several times at close range as he laid in bed. After providing beds and warm homes to dozens of members of the community, he had been shot dead in his own. Chris was clearly devastated. Even as someone struggling on the wrong side of the law, he was well aware what a wonderful man Ron was, and what a loss this was to the world.
I don't want it, so you're gonna go with these guys.
Yeah, I know.
But it's like I said, if you hear anything or something comes up about this, you give me a call, okay?
Yeah, I mean, I got to do 2 years over this, so it's going to be what?
Well, I'm just saying, you can get a message to somebody if you hear something or you think I need to talk to somebody.
All right.
All right? I appreciate you talking to me, Chris.
Fortunately, Chris didn't leave investigators at a dead end. One of the names he dropped, Andrew or Andy, was about to echo through the case again and again. The first hit came from an unexpected source, a man named Richard Rolander, currently hospitalized and in police custody for an entirely different matter. When officers brought him in, he made an unusual move. He said he had something important to share. It's not uncommon for suspects in unrelated cases to offer up information, usually hoping to shave some time off their sentence. But this felt different. There was something about the way Richard volunteered his tip. It suggested there might be more to his motives than just cutting a deal.
You mean Andy?
Andy Alcorn? Mm-hmm. He's probably hiding up in Monticello right now because he probably thought somebody gave him up. I don't know, it just seems funny to me. The day before Ron got killed, man, you had not a dollar to your name, and just swear to God, you kept saying every day, I'm gonna rob him this Saturday, I'm gonna rob him right before his rent money. Because I don't remember when we're robbing him, go get my way out there.
Andy was talking about robbing Ron?
He took him out. He made a phone call about it. Her and Chris Smith were a suspect. And they told the detective Levitt and Payne too.
Oh, you already told him this stuff?
I mean, I haven't talked to Levitt and Payne to tell them about anything, but she's the one that said, well, I need to talk to him. No. You look at motherfucking Andy Alcorn. He's just $35 right now going to get his old lady out of jail.
Have you talked to the detectives? No?
My wife has.
Are you scheduled to talk to him?
We talked to him yesterday before he got arrested.
Oh, you did talk to him?
Yeah, she talked to him. My wife did.
But you didn't?
I was in here during a seizure.
Gotcha.
Wasn't coherent. I guess Detective Payne come back and talk to me. I was out of it. Yeah, but Andy Alcorn is the one that I like Ron. Ron was a good guy. He helped me and my wife out when he came. We didn't have no food in our house, and he didn't have enough work to let me work that day. He said, "This is all I can do for you. I'm not going to let you and your son and wife go hungry." But he went out and bought us like almost $80 worth of groceries and gave me $20 to be able to get back forth into school. Ron was a good guy, man. A real good guy. I mean, I'll give them that information if they want it. But I think that's the key point of information that should be addressed.
That he was talking about robbing him on Saturday?
Yeah. And that's the day that
What was his exact words?
He said, "I'm going to rob this fat son of a bitch to go get my wife out of jail."
And the fat son of a bitch was Ron?
Yes.
And then to get his wife out of jail?
His wife died. Mm-hmm. His wife died, but his girlfriend was in jail.
Okay. So to get his girlfriend out of jail?
Yes, his girlfriend. I didn't need to say his wife because his wife was died. His wife died previously, a couple days before that. His old lady got arrested. And Ron kicked him out of those day houses he had. Like, kicked him off the property. And that's when he was saying, "I'm going to rob this son of a bitch." He kept saying, "Saturday, I'm going to go get him. I'm going to get him on Saturday right after he collects all his rent money. I'm going to kill this son of a bitch and take everything he's got."
Andrew's name wasn't just familiar to law enforcement because Chris had mentioned it. It had already been etched into their records, thanks to his lengthy rap sheet. But despite their awareness, Andrew was still off the grid, actively evading capture. Word was he was scrambling for cash, doing whatever it took to get someone to bail Paige out. And while the pressure of the crimes weighed heavily, that wasn't the only thing haunting him. His estranged wife, who he'd been separated from for over a year, had recently passed away. At her funeral, officers were stationed nearby, ready in case Andrew made an appearance. But by then, he was already gone. He had managed to bail out Paige, and together, they vanished. Now, in an attempt to track him down, investigators reached out to someone close to his past, his former sister-in-law, hoping she could shed light on where Andrew might have run.
So basically, this is what I know, and then I'll let you fill in the gaps. What I was told is that you approached an officer at the funeral, and your sister's Rachel, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And her ex-husband is Andrew Alcorn?
Yes. Well, they're still technically married, but
okay.
Yeah.
And he's got some warrants. And so is that why the police were there, just in general?
And to protect our family, because he's at his last, He has no care in the world, and I have no doubt in my mind that Andy is the one that killed Ron. Just 2 blocks down from where he's staying. He has made a comment, I couldn't tell you how many times, because he goes out and robs people and, breaks into houses and all that. And he always says, man, I need to go hit a lick at Ron's house. He's always got thousands of dollars.
Okay.
And I showed Wilson, Officer Wilson, that, he sent me a message at 3:11 in the morning and said, crazy stuff's going to be happening. It's going to be popping off. Well, then 6 something in the morning, you guys get the call that house has been set on fire. Ron had been killed and another guy had been stabbed.
I guess my question is kind of why now with Ron? Like why do you think he's just all of a sudden decided that was what he was going to do? If that's
because he's on the run. He knows this is his last lick. They know whenever this is his last run. They know when he gets caught, they're either shooting him because he's going to have a gun and get killed, or he's going to kill himself, or he's going to spend the rest of life in prison. He knows there's no getting out of all this with all the stuff that they got on him out at Anderson.
Finally, detectives had everything they needed. The trail had led them straight to Andrew. Known for his explosive temper and with nothing left to lose, he was considered extremely dangerous, especially if cornered. No one could predict how he'd react when the pressure hit. On April 11, 2019, law enforcement tracked Andrew and Paige to a small apartment on the outskirts of Dayton, Ohio. But bringing him in wouldn't be simple. The moment officers made their move, Andrew locked the doors and barricaded himself inside with Paige, refusing to come out. What followed was an intense 9-hour standoff that pushed tensions to the limit. SWAT units surrounded the building, unleashing a barrage of tear gas and less lethal rounds in a desperate effort to end the siege without bloodshed. Eventually, Paige found a way out, slipping through a window and escaping the apartment. Moments later, a loud pop echoed from inside. Officers rushed in, prepared for the worst. There, they found Andrew on the floor, bleeding from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. For a brief moment, it looked like he had taken the easy way out, dodging the justice he had long evaded. But fate had other plans. The wound wasn't fatal. He was rushed to the hospital and survived. In 2021, Andrew Alhorns finally faced trial. Among those in court was Thomas Day, the man who had miraculously survived 29 brutal stab wounds. Taking the stand, Thomas gave a raw and powerful statement. "My life is not going to be the same. I'm always going to be in pain because of what you did. Every day I feel pain, and that's not right." In the end, justice caught up with Andrew Alhorns. For the brutal acts he committed, murder and aggravated battery, he was handed a staggering 75-year prison sentence. It was a punishment that reflected the severity of his crimes and ensured he'd spend the rest of his life behind bars. I hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, please like and subscribe to our channel. It will help us a lot and motivate us to continue making videos like this.